Ramatek felt as captive as the thing the inhabitants of Erynnes were guarding. As a child, he found it truly difficult to understand why he should devote his whole life to becoming a jailer. He cared little that the prisoner, which they called the entity, could bring about the end of the world. How could Ramatek want to protect a world that he had not even been able to know? All of these concerns were at the forefront of his mind while he was driven with the other children to the inner containment chambers. When the huge sealed doors opened, Ramatek beheld for the first time the appearance of the prisoner. It was a huge lump of meat that did not...
Baby? There's something I have to tell you. There's a library card in the back of me, and I'm long overdue.
Just shut up, please.
That's a Nexus Guardian, babe. Keepers of primordial supernatural cores. I wonder what it could be protecting. Babe, the Guardian, he had something different. I noticed it when I absorbed its existence. A magic formula codex. Very primitive, but linked to the seals of this place.
Add the formula to our magic. With any luck, it'll resonate with the seals in this place. Maybe we'll be able to activate them now.
Let's use some attack spells on that thing, baby. Any of them will work.
Do you hate Romeo Exet?
It's not hate. I mean, that guy is freaking powerful himself. Probably the most powerful human being I've met since Erynnes, and I respect that. But there is something in him that I despise. That attitude. He behaves as if he is some kind of savior who can't ever be wrong.
Too similar to you?
I'm not human, baby. I am what I am. But that guy, I told you, there's something in him that I can't stand. But what about you? It looks like you are his biggest fan.
He and Lady were the only ones who treated me like a normal girl. He has no qualms calling me his weapon, his instrument, but he was nice to me.
That's just because he's not afraid of me. It's another way to prove that he's better than everyone else. Oh, someday, I wish I could have a chance to kick his ass.
That is something that's not gonna happen.
A book can dream.
Another strong impact shook the central structure of the cathedral. The attack was more powerful than the previous one, which meant it was just a matter of time until they would surpass Erynnes' mystical defenses. Somehow, these creatures had discovered the existence of the sanctuary and its prisoner. Those who lurk in the shadows had lost their leader not long ago, and they probably thought that the entity sealed in the cathedral would allow them to rise against the world for a second time. Ramatek had lived his whole life within these walls. Despite his childish reticence, he had come to love them as much as he loved all the people who were at his side. It was ironic that only now, when everything was in danger, he realized his true feelings. The priest was not a normal person and was perfectly trained. Acting swiftly, he went to the chambers where the prisoner was locked and began diverting part of the supernatural power of the seals to the external protections of the building.
Hey, baby! Just a reminder, the view from back here is great! No buts about it!
Terrified, Ramatek tried to move, but his body was trapped by debris. Above him, the bloody meat mass of the prisoner, impaled by some broken columns, writhed and twisted, tearing its flesh. The blood of the creature began to spout from its wounds, and Ramatek could only watch helplessly as it slipped between the fallen stones towards him. After a few seconds that felt like a lifetime, the blood spilled over his face and ran down his forehead to reach the corners of his eyes. Blinded, the priest screamed in pure horror until everything fell silent. When he opened his eyes, the world was not the same anymore. In an instant, the rocks that blocked his body became ashes, and the dark form of the priest rose between them. What stood there was no longer a person, not even a mortal being. Ramatek looked at what was left of the prisoner. None of the priests of Erynnes ever understood the truth. It had been 10 years since Ramatek left Erynnes, after what he considered his awakening. With some melancholy, the dark priest stared at the ruins around him. His eyes perceived everything as only he could. An environment in which the material and the spiritual world formed a swirling chaos. That abomination was something that Ramatek had learned to hate, and its mere vision upset him so much that with a slight fit of rage, he destroyed what remained of the central chamber of the cathedral. While fragments of the walls fell around him and turned to ashes, the priest wondered again how he could have been so blind his whole life. Like 1,000 times in the past, he silently thanked his God for blessing him, for opening his eyes to the truth. Existence was a sin. The whole creation must disappear. That absolute truth, which only he understood, had become his God. That seal. The entrance won't be open much longer. We need to destroy the barrier quickly. That seal. The entrance won't be open much longer. We need to destroy the barrier quickly.
Two more.
One more.